You'll never get a moment like right now. Now, I'm sorry if that stings, but it's the reality that you and I live in. You have this small window in time to make this count. And are you willing to do it? Or will you let these moments of beauty pass you by? Welcome back. This is Answer Me This, part of the Fatherhood in Focus podcast. I'm Aidan, dad, host, and founder of the Modern Fatherhood Club. As always, every week we're here to ask you one uncomfortable question. Not to shame you, but to sharpen you. Because this is about legacy, impact, and the man that your kids actually see when you walk into the room. Because the world is happy for you to cope. We're here to help you choose how you show up, how you lead, and importantly, how you love. Before we dive in, if you haven't already, subscribe to the podcast, hit subscribe on YouTube, and head over to themodernfatherhoodclub.com and grab some of our free resources. They're built to support you from those early messy days right through to the years when they're shouting at you from across the room. Right, take a breath. This week's question is gonna test you. I don't often ad-lib on this podcast. I try to keep it structured. I try to keep it in a flow that works for you and it works for me. But this week I really want you to think about those moments that you have. Those moments that you have to spend with them, to maximize the impact that you're having, the quality time, the quality experiences. Because the clock's ticking and one day the hourglass will be empty. So you've got to ask yourself, what are you going to let slip by? What are you going to miss out on? What are you focused on that's stopping you having the impact and showing up in the way that they need you to? There's a lot of negativity out there at the moment. There's a lot of challenge that we need to overcome. But what we need to do as dads, and especially if we've got boys, as boy dads, we need to make time to connect. We need to make time for them, to hear what they say, to listen with intent, to grow closer together. Because we need to help shape their lives, their future, that direction of travel that they're going to take. We need to be a bigger influence in their world. We need to switch off the noise that we have to deal with. We need to be able to step over that threshold in the evening after a tough day at work and not download on them, but take a step back and just dive in to the game, dive in to those moments that matter to both of you. Because they do. Don't overlook the importance of these formative years, these years that truly shape who they're becoming. I don't care how distracted you are, how much pressure you are under. If you've had kids, you cannot shy away from this responsibility. We're here to shape lives. We're here to build confidence. We're here to help them find their feet, their self-worth, but also to reinforce what it means to be them. Fathers are about shaping, molding, but we can't do that if we're not prepared to sit back, take a moment to breathe, take a moment to immerse ourselves in their world. Because you will never get a moment like right now, but you got to choose to make the most of it. Now, you're never going to get a moment like right now. And yeah, that's going to sting, but it's the reality that we both live in. You've got a small window of time to make this count. And the bigger question is, are you willing to do it, or will you let these moments pass you by? You'll never get another moment to see them grow up again. You'll never get a moment to just be, to watch the world go by, to be at their level and live at their pace. This is a sobering thought, but at the same time, it creates this energy and this feeling of gratitude. This is the opportunity to just stop and wait. Because the world is speeding by and we're losing sight of the little things, the joy, the laughter, and those moments where we find ourselves immersed in their world. I went to the gym the other day, and as I passed over the hill at the top of our road, there was this deep mist that had set in and blanketed the whole area around us. But the sun was fighting it, and it was slowly burning through. And I caught myself for the briefest of moments just smiling. Where we live is beautiful at this time of year, and we're lucky, and I'm grateful for the journey that brought us here. But what was most powerful about that moment was the smile that it brought to my face. It was that kind of moment where the whole world and its pressure, the challenges we face, the busyness, none of it felt like it mattered. I headed to the gym, and when I finished up, the mist was still there, and that feeling, well, it hadn't shifted. For the first time in a while, nothing else mattered. No noise was going to disrupt this mood. I felt fresh. Well, as fresh as a 42-year-old with 2 kids could feel. But my energy, it was high. I bounced into the house when I got home, and then I just paused. Because this was what life was about. You see, I found myself thinking differently recently. As Henry's returned to the happy, joyful little man we had way back when, we've now got 2 boys that are on form. The house is filled with smiles and laughter. The relentlessness of 2024 feels like it's gone. Don't get me wrong, I'm still busy. Life can still be chaotic, and we often feel like we're chasing our tails. But do I feel lighter? Yeah. Do I feel more at ease? Yes. Do I feel like everything is the way that it should be? Yeah. In our family life, we are exactly where we need to be. Yes, we're still trying to find the right balance between work and home, but we're moving in the right direction. Am I happy at work? No. Am I happy with my business's progress? I am. Have I set the world alight? No. But I'm happy with my progress as a podcaster and a business owner. Why? Because my focus was community. You build over time, but to gain traction and momentum, you've got to build trust. And I hope that's what we're doing. I'm about to bring back my community project, and I'm about to deliver one of the only dad-focused antenatal courses via this podcast. And for me, that's a big thing. Because if you listen, you get what you need before baby arrives in 20 short-form episodes. And you get the first one from the 1st of June, all episodes free. To spread the word. Because you don't have to pay to get clued up and give your family what they need. Sometimes you just need to get the basics down, because the rest will follow. And that's one of my objectives. Yes, you pay for one of my courses, but access to this high quality material is going to be free. But can I pause there? Because above everything, right now, I'm proud of how far we have come as a family. So if you've been listening a while, you'll know some of the challenges that we've had with H. But yesterday, I just had that moment of pride that just washes over you as a dad. And it's not the first time recently. Last year, our family challenges were there for all to see when he played football. It was uncomfortable, painful, and at times it left me close to tears. But yesterday, one of the mums, she just turned to me and complimented him on how much he's grown, not just in his ability to play, but his character, his strength, his confidence. And mate, when someone recognises the changes in your child, that fills you with this massive sense of pride, but also personal accomplishment, because that's your kid. This isn't about footballing ability. This is about character and their character, because their character is the biggest representation of who you are. And that's why I want you to think about a couple of things. Are you stopping to enjoy the moments that fill your cup? Or are you letting them pass you by? If you let them slip by, you're never getting them back. Every minute that slips by is a moment lost to time, a moment lost of their childhood, their innocence, their wide-eyed, simple view on this world. We faced a big challenge with H, and I'm grateful for the lesson in life. But I think it's taken a long time for me to just pause and see it as a lesson learned. I'm grateful, but if I'm honest, I know I failed to pause and appreciate the small wins. And it's those small wins that when your back is against the wall, well, they stack up. Yes, life is relentless and chaotic at times, and what we carry is always going to be there. But when I set out on this journey, what mattered most was everyone around me. Terry, Henry and Max. And right now, she is at the peak of her powers. Henry is back to enjoying life. And Max, he's just loving it. But Max, he never stopped loving life. His glass is always full. He's just that kind of dude. He never runs on empty. He brings the noise. He brings the joy. He brings the smiles. He brings the laughter. He brings the love. And he brings that warmth. But what he brings more than anything is this. He's still a kid. He's still in that phase where the world is too big to worry about. He's not fighting to grow up. He's just living. And yet, I know he's going to grow up. But don't you just want them to take their time, stay small, stay humble, funny, chaotic, and not shaped by the outside world? We're all moving at a different pace in the world, and we're all fighting for something. But when a family comes together, what more do you have to be grateful for? My friend, what more do you need? So I've got to ask you, what's it going to take for you to find happiness? What's it going to take for you to be content and happy to just sit back and watch? Watch that awesome smile. Watch them laugh. Watch them learn and grow into a person confident in their own skin, a person willing to challenge and find their own path. And then I want you to answer this. If you're not there, what's it going to take you to get there? What are you sacrificing now, and what's stopping you from getting there? Because this life is about more than just following a specific plan or putting food on the table and keeping a roof over your heads. What's it going to take for you to just breathe in and see them for who they are? Wild and free, filled with optimism, love, character, warmth, and freedom. If you're anything like me, sometimes you get so focused on the end result that you forget to just enjoy the journey. You see, what you and I need to learn to do from time to time is to live life, to live in the moment where it matters most and where we make the biggest difference. Because if you think about it long and hard enough, how are they ever going to learn to love deeply, live in the moment and give life a real go if they don't see you taking a minute to be grateful for what you have? I don't want to miss what mattered most. Yes, I'm still restless. Yes, I'm still working hard to make a difference to their lives and for our family's future. But what if it gets in the way of the laughter, the joy, the playfulness, the minutes where they're still small? I guess this week I'm urging you to reflect on what you've got, not what you're chasing or trying to deliver, simply what you have. My restlessness will remain until I meet my own expectations. But that morning, watching the mist disappear and seeing that sunrise over London, I saw it. Dad is more than running and chasing. Dad is more than the momentum he needs to deliver on this objective. Dad is more than the fear of wasting potential. Dad is the man that simplifies the interactions, the man who speaks from the heart, the man who sits and listens even when he's got something else that needs to be done. That is the man who is running in the garden, pushing them to find what makes them smile. He's telling stories. He's encouraging them to push beyond their boundaries. He's the man who waits for their hand to grip his. The man who sometimes just sits lost in their world. Honestly, you can always do more, win more, get paid more, be more at work. But one day they're going to stop holding your hand. They'll stop giving you a hug in front of their friends. And they'll stop giving you a cuddle before bed. Your restlessness today might just cost you what you love most. The stillness that grounds you when they need you most. Your ability to ground yourself in their world. That's the difference between carrying on, doing whatever it is you're doing, and saying this. This moment right now, This is the moment that matters. So remember, you'll never get a moment like right now. You must do everything in your power to protect these moments. Plan for them. Choose them at the right time. Make a difference to their day. Bring the energy, lift the mood, smile, and let them see you shift. Let them see you belly laughing. Give them your attention, playing and laughing, watching, encouraging, not fighting the restless spirit we both know is there. Just let them see you free. If you're struggling with this, This isn't about giving up on whatever it is you're chasing. This is about slowing down and being grateful for what you do have. Let them know that right now you're choosing to prioritize this time, these moments, their world. Because this is what defines you. A simple, honest, open-hearted approach to leadership, to fatherhood, to your relationship. Tomorrow, they will be older, and before you know it, they'll have moved on from games in the garden. They'll no longer bounce on that trampoline, no longer want to play football with you or race down that hill on their bikes. They'll, for the briefest of moments, lose their ability to see what's important, what matters, and what they love. My friend, you will not get this time back. So this weekend, if there are memories to make, do it. Prioritize it. Work will come and work will go, but they'll always be there until they're not. And that's when you'll realise that today is a chance to live in their world, immersed in their game. You don't get this moment back. Don't let that restless itch rob you of the memories you'll wish you'd have made. Be here, be now, because this is all we get. Before I leave, I want to know one thing that you're scared of losing. What's one thing you know you'll miss when it's gone? What's one thing you can do today to show them what truly matters? My friend, if you're listening, I'm here because I lost sight of what was important and it almost cost me everything. I've made mistakes, I've missed moments, but I'm not letting them define who I am. I'm fighting for that future that serves my kids, my wife, and it doesn't have to just look good on paper. This podcast has never been about making sweeping change. It's not scripted, it's not safe, it's not polished. It's what happens when you and I get real about where we're falling short, and it's where we learn to rise anyway. Because your kids, they don't need a dad who's got it all figured out. They need a dad who's willing to look in that mirror and keep becoming. This isn't for the man who's pretending. This is for the one who's ready. So if you're here, if you're scrolling between pressure and exhaustion, and something inside you whispers, I need more than this, you're in the right place. So that's today's question. You've just spent a few minutes doing what most of us avoid. Slowing down, being honest, and looking at how you're really showing up. And my friend, that matters. It matters more than you know. Please remember that your kids don't need a perfect man, just an honest one, a one that's willing to reflect, reset, and do his best to lead from the front, even when he's tired, under pressure, or just coping more than he'd like to admit. If this episode landed for you, please subscribe to the podcast. Hit subscribe on YouTube so you don't miss any of our future episodes, especially our upcoming antenatal course. And if you want to access some of our other resources, join us at themodernfatherhoodclub.com, where you will find our upcoming antenatal course, the ultimate new dad toolkit, the new dad recharge, the course designed for those of you looking to realign your energy and your priorities. Look, I say this every week. I'm not perfect. Neither are you. But you and I, we are committed to leading with confidence, strength, openness, and heart. We are committed to giving our kids the version of us that they need to see, that version that's present, not just productive. So this is Answer Me This, and this is where we talk about what matters. This is where you answer the questions that keep you up at night. This is where you and I, we get to the truth. Not just about what it means to be a dad, but what it takes to become the father that they'll never forget. As always, write it down, dive into the detail, create something so powerful and unique that you cannot wake up and not move toward it. Remember, you're working to create the version of dad they need to see. Because if you get it right, if you silence the noise and prioritize what's important, then your legacy is cemented. Because they will live how you lived, love how you loved, listen how you listened, prioritize the way that you did, and show up in the lives of those they love just as you did. This is the role of the modern dad. Stability, strength, passion, perseverance, pride, and love. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.